For you have network capable systems, meaning that you're able to like SSH into stuff. You're able to use your cloud services that have logging APIs. I don't think APIs would be considered software. They're just programming. Network devices, routers, and firewalls. So if you have a really good router and a really good firewall, that's going to make your network more capable of handling agentless logs, agentless log ingestion. Your applications might be handled by REST APIs, application programming interfaces. That would help you out a little bit. And for the quick decision framework, ask yourself these three key questions. Speed requirements, need logs in seconds. Agent-based, because it's real time. That's a speed requirement. If you want real time, go with agent-based. If you can wait a couple hours for your logs to come in, go agentless. If you can install software, you can use either agentless or agent. If you can't install software, recommended to go agentless. Like the person's policy, the company's policy, right? They won't be in compliance if they use certain types of software. So they'd have to go agentless only. For operational complexity, do you have an experienced team? Either approach. Want a simple solution? Agentless is the simplest one. Agent-based, it just adds so many other factors that you're going to have to deal with. So I'd recommend agentless. But if you're like in a bigger company, they're going to want you to use agent. And they're going to want you to know agent. For log volume, do you have a high volume of gigabytes daily? Go with agent-based because you're getting a high volume of logs. With a low to medium, you're going to want to do either of them. You can do agent or you can do agentless. Processing, do you need smart filtering? If you need smart filtering, go with agent-based. If raw logs are fine, go agentless. Like raw Linux syslogs and stuff like that. Say you have an e-commerce platform. Problem, needed real-time fraud detection from transaction logs. They deployed FileBeat agents to capture payment logs instantly. They reduced fraud by 40% with sub-second detection. Because they used agent-based, they got that real-time fraud, right? Because it's harder to do real-time fraud because agentless is not real-time. So you'd have to use an agent-based system if you wanted to do this, where it's fraud detection and stuff like that. That's why some people are mandated and they have to use agent, because they have to comply with PCI DSS and to make sure that they don't allow fraud, stuff like that. Microservices. The problem, you have 100 plus containers generating massive log volumes. The solution to managing this massive log volume would be FluentBit. FluentBit agents operate in each container with liquid filtering. This would reduce your network traffic by 90% reduction, which in return equals faster log processing. Here's another success story, but this time it's for agentless. They have a problem. The mainframe systems couldn't have agents installed, meaning they had to use agentless because they could not use agents. They could not use any software on the servers. So what they did is they scheduled secure file transfer protocol transfers of the daily log files. So they are getting daily. They aren't doing it every hour. They aren't doing it. So they're just getting a daily log file. So they know what goes on throughout the day. They can go back and say, this day, this happened. But it depends on if they can go back, how far they can go back. Because you have to get rid of these logs after a certain time. And different policies make you either keep them longer or only make you keep them for like a couple weeks. So they integrated a 30-year-old system with modern SIEM, System Information Event Management System. So for compliance auditing, they needed to collect logs from 500 plus devices, network devices. Like you could classify a router or a switch, stuff like that, or a firewall as a network device. They needed to collect logs from like all of these network devices like routers, firewalls and stuff like that. So what they did is they centralized a syslog server that collected from all devices and centralized it. So one syslog server collected it from all the devices. This made it so that they could report and they could do better compliance reporting, which would in turn make them compliant with whatever business that this one was doing. Agentless is always simpler. This is not the truth. Deployment may be simpler. Agentless can be complex when dealing with authentication, file formats, and scheduling daily logs, or whenever they collect them. It could be weekly, it could be monthly, it could be, but it is not always simpler because all these other factors tie into it, and you have to make sure that they're all doing what they need to correctly. Agent-based is too resource intensive. In reality, modern lightweight agents like FileBeat typically use less than 1% CPU and 50 megabytes of RAM. Minimal impact on most systems. Agent-based is too resource intensive. Reality. Modern lightweight agents like FileBeat typically... Oh, we already read that one. Nice. You must choose one approach. In reality, many organizations use both approaches. Agent for critical systems and agentless for legacy or simple systems. So some companies implement both, but the biggest disadvantage with agentless is it can't be real time. It can't be the real time that agent-based gives you because it's not updating and synchronizing like agent-based does. In reality, while typical batch-based agentless can achieve near real-time with API-based collection or fast polling schedules. So this is saying batch-based agentless can achieve near. So it's not going to achieve perfect real-time. The only way... No, agentless can never do real-time. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. And the next video we'll be going more over topics like log ingestion and stuff. So